Crazy, never lost it. Now I pick her up in the Mercedes and I'm frosted. 23 and 0, we took the lead. Watch me talk shit. Everybody see me on my top dog shit. They were saying I was going crazy, never lost it. Now I pick her up in the...
Oh, there we go.
And welcome to the National Meat Treasure Podcast with your host, Sasha, a.k.a. Reese Witherspoon. Fun fact, I used to have like a weird obsession with Reese Witherspoon from ages like, I don't want to say like me like 12 to like 15 for some reason. I'm not completely sure why. I think it was like that one bikini scene in Legally Blonde kind of had me hooked.
I respect this.
Okay, you know what? I will not yuck anybody's yum. You know what? There's none of them that deserve me even speaking on their name. Because no 90s heartthrob, except for maybe Jennifer Love Hewitt. You know what? Hewitt?
I
don't know.
Tits.
I mean, she was just
Jennifer Love huge.
way to be a misogynist. Okay, we can just comment on her beautiful assets or something, stupid.
I love the shape of her face. I've always loved
no, bro. She was perfect for that time period where you just needed the girl next door that was just a little bit above your weight class. So that's what it was. That's what to quote Generation Z and to quote Sasha here, it's giving I can't even continue.
It's giving perfection.
He tried It's Giving once for the culture and just couldn't do it.
I will not do it ever again.
Well, it is giving a little bit of Thrillah from the Three, aka Joey from the National Meat Treasure Podcast. What's the word?
Can we talk about something? Speaking of the girl next door thing, that's not a thing anymore, right? Like nobody fawns over the girl next door anymore. Is that like a thing for the kids still? I mean, I imagine in 2022, the girl next door is somebody you probably fuck like in your backyard while your parents are asleep, and then don't speak to ever again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, gentlemen, and this might lead its way into the same circle of thought, right? Since the girl next door doesn't exist, right? Have you ever had that girl next door? Because even when I was a young person, when I would look at girls in the neighborhood that I was like really interested, they were still pretty far away. It was never going to be just like, a block over or across the street. I lived in an apartment building, so it wasn't like, the next door neighbor or the first floor girl. Like nobody was like that. It was a bunch of either old people or boys my age for the most part. So I don't know. I've never had the luck of being able to find a lover that was close to me.
Me either. I had opportunities, didn't realize it, just being 9 years old. There was a girl who lived across the street from me. I didn't have a chance. She was a little older than me. She was like, that older girl who like is like, let's say she was probably 3 years older than me. And she was pretty experienced in sex before I was, and she'd, be like telling me stories, and I'd just be like,
a 12-year-old?
Yeah,
no.
Like that,
No.
You said you were 9 and she was 3 years older than you. Experienced at sex.
No, my fault.
Wow. Did you meet somebody's child bride? Like
I fast forwarded to when I was 14 and this girl was 17.
Oh, okay. That's a little different.
Actually, even 15, 18, actually. Yeah, it was.
Do you still know her now?
Not like super personally, but her family still lives across the street from my family. They're the fam. They're good peoples. But she used to mess with my older brother. I mean, they were young. They were like 18, 17 or whatever. This was a long time ago. This was like 16 years ago.
So your older brother smashed?
Nah, he ain't smashed.
Well, one of you has to now.
You have to.
No, it's gone. That's out of here.
Why is it?
And no, because later on in life, one of our bros smashed. He went on with it. And they had a thing for a long time. And they were together. That was it went. It worked its way out. It wasn't meant. It wouldn't be appropriate. Circle.
It wouldn't be appropriate.
Niggas split apart.
Bad
like
form.
she was not fucking with. She wasn't around us anymore. We weren't around them anymore.
Damn.
Niggas went to high school, found other women to
Yeah, you don't
Fuck
need
up and
the.
damage and abuse.
You're right.
I had a few girls next door, but they weren't really like. It's not like a story, really. It's like, so the way I define a girl next door doesn't necessarily mean like she's next door. It means she's in the neighborhood. You grew up together. You kind of shared experiences, and then eventually you become like you get a little crush in your teen years. I don't really think I had anything official like that, but I had like a bunch of like halves. I will tell the lower tiers of it. So the lower tier was my pastor. So my grandfather's pastor lived across the street from my grandfather. My grandfather was on Long Island. I was in Queens, and my grandfather's pastor's daughter was a bad bitch. Oh my god, she's got to be super fine right now, bro. Like we never like talk because like we would only really connect when like there was like a major family event that like the pastor would show up to, or like if like we were at church. So I never really like, it would just kind of be like a nod because like I was way too young. I don't know how old she was. I think she might have been like maybe a year or two older than me. And I remember like seeing her when I was like ages like, I don't know, maybe like 6 to like 13 or something. Maybe she went to college. Maybe she was a lot older than me. But I just never really talked to her. But I just remember like every time I seen her, it was like, you know what she looked like? She looks like Maya, except with green eyes. Like
Maya.
she was a
what a throwback.
baddie,
Nobody
bro.
expected you to say Maya. Nobody expected you to say that.
My pastor and his my grandfather's pastor and his wife are both. Yeah, she looks exactly like Maya, but with green eyes. My pastor and his wife are both light skinned, and they had some light skinned kid. I don't know where the green eyes came from. I don't think my pastor's wife had green eyes. I don't remember, but yeah, she was fine as fuck. But there was no connection there. It was just like I see you when I see you, and I fawn over you. Then there was so this was actually a girl next door, literally. I was 9, I think, and no, I was like 9. Yeah, I was like 9 or 10, and the woman next door was my babysitter, Miss Paula, and I remember she had a daughter, also kind of in the same realm as Maya. Damn, I had kind of a definitive taste growing up, and also kind of the same realm as Maya, like that same kind of light skin shit.
Light skin girls in like the 90s, bro, were like a little bit different, right? Like if we're gonna be real, it was like TV was in love with them.
Yeah,
well, that's the internalized racism, that's colorism.
Yes, exactly.
We're just ignoring dark skinned girls because we were all and had internal hatred. But
precisely, and that's what TV was teaching us. It was like, yo, who do you love, Lisa, or do you love Myra? Who did you love, Sasha?
I was personally a fan of Myra.
I know you were, because she was a freak nasty light skin.
She was a slut, dude. I love a nerdy
freak.
Man, my taste. Hold on, let's talk about that. My taste really has not changed because I love a nerdy slut so much. Like I would get. Let me get back to the pastor, the girl next door though. So this girl was named Shakira. She was like 2 or 3 years older than me, and I remember, bro. This is the most down bad I've ever been. I remember when that song this is 10-year-old down bad. This is super down bad, bro. I remember
down bad.
Remember that Bone Thug song? Bum bum bum. Tell me what you gonna do.
What you wanna do?
That song was like giving away my age. That song was like the shit, right? But like I remember she loved that song. And obviously this is like, I'm 10, she's 12. Like we don't have access to Bone Thug CDs. I remember I got a fucking tape recorder and I listened to the radio all day and waited for this song to come on and recorded the song. This was like a 6-hour process. Like 6 hours on a Saturday for a 10-year-old.
Waiting for the radio? Waiting for the radio to play a song?
That was an activity. You
sat
there.
Activity. Keep in mind, I'm 10 years old and there's a kid down the street with a pogo stick, bro. I could have been outside with it.
Yeah.
I could have been doing nutty shit. And I sat and recorded this shit. I got another down bad moment with this girl too. Keep in mind, this girl is 12, 13. She thinks I'm fucking just some dumbass kid. God, I wish I could bump into her again because I know she would throw me ass. But but I remember she had another down bad moment. I gave her the CD. She kind of just like thank you and shrugged it off, whatever. After me doing 6 hours of work to get this shit. And then I remember there was like a Valentine's Day coming up. This is emotional, bro. You're about to get your heart wrenched. I picked I was walking to school. I'm walking back from school. I picked some flowers off some random person's tulips off some random person's front yard in Staten. I gave them to her with a card, and then, well, I'm about to give it to her, and she comes home with this massive bouquet of roses from some kid in her school. Sean, I think his name was. He was like 15. I was like, you weirdo nigga, why are you getting... Bro, I went home and cried. Bro. My heart out. I was done. Because she took my shit like she wasn't even playing about it this time. She wasn't even nice. She took it and was just like, thanks. And then like talked to her mom about hot ass Sean. I think he came to the house one day and I wanted to fight him. He was this beautiful dark skinned nigga. He was like the dark skinned nigga with like the kind of like high top fade, but not like super high. You know what I mean? With a little slant.
Yeah.
What year was this? If I was 10 and I'm 35 now, what's 2020 take away 15?
I don't know, bro.
Or take away 25.
Quick math.
95.
Yeah, I turned 13 in 2000, so this had to be like 98, 97. Yeah, so I was 1997. I was hurting, and he was definitely the fly nigga for 97.
He was 97.
He could have been in Jodeci. Like, he was a pretty kid. I can't even deny. He had like the high ass cheekbones. You know what he looked like? You ever watch that show Sex Education?
Yes.
He looked like the black swimmer dude in Sex Education. What's that actor's name?
I know who you're talking about. He listen, bro. That man is shredded
Let's
as
see
fuck.
what comes up if I type
Bro,
in black
and he
swimmer.
fucks. That's the word. That's the
Kadir
craziest
Williams?
thing about the man.
Kadir. That's a crazy name.
Whatever he is,
Kadir Williams
he
Sterling.
fucks in that show. He
definitely fucks.
like he fucks in that show. In Sex Education, he's literally the only grown man around these like children. Like, he's a god amongst men, right? Like, he's like, if you've never watched the show, like, doesn't he have like he's adopted, right? Like by white parents or something, like, or like Asian parents? They're not the same race.
His parents are lesbians, and his black mom was like the birth mom.
Okay, so and if I'm correct, the white mom is like super overbearing, like really like trying to get him to be like a
because she has like a complex that she's not. She's like a complex because she's not like the birth mother or whatever.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, even under those circumstances, the man fucks. Like, literally, like, that's the whole show, in my opinion. Like, it's just surrounded around this guy causing this kind of drama that wouldn't exist if he didn't fuck so well. Like, that's really what it comes out to.
Now imagine a 15-year-old version of him and a 10-year-old version of me competing for the same woman. It would never go down. I was heartbroken as shit, bro. And I remember too, she had this like cousin that would come over sometime, also light skinned, that I hated because this girl was a bitch. I remember I called her a bitch one time when I was like 10, and she told my mom and because I don't know what we were doing. I think we were doing something, and like we're playing outside, and I remember this bitch of a woman. I love how I'm calling like this, retroactively calling this teenager a bitch. But yes. I feel like we were like, I don't know, she was just like clowning me all day and like pissing me off. And something happened where we were like roughhousing, and I like tripped and scraped my knee. And I just remember screaming out, "You fucking bitch!" And like, keep in mind, like, I was a very like quiet, docile.
That's a lot of bass in your voice.
Yeah, you remember? Like, I just told y'all I picked flowers for a girl not 2 weeks prior, and now I'm just like, "You fucking bitch."
Like, if you barked at her, it would have been appropriate, I think.
I remember she told my mom, and then my mom washed my mouth out with soap. I should have fucked them both up, honestly. Well, both them bitches' asses.
Considering how many times they've been called a bitch at this point.
That cousin, she's lucky I moved out of Staten before I hit puberty, because if I would have seen her again in my teens when I was jacked,
wow,
woo, I'd be like, hell. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't even been mad at the cousin. I would have just been, Shakira would have been on my body, because I don't know if she went to college or not, but if she stayed home, shit, there would have been no stopping me, my boy. No stopping me. She would have been 21. I would have been 19. I'd have been like, I've been drinking longer than you, lying my ass off. like pass me a sip of that. So, what was the popular drink? Pass me some
99 bananas.
Girl.
Pass me some 99 bananas or Alizé. Pass me an Incredible Hulk, if you will.
99 bananas.
Pass me that Colt 45, girl. You know I could bust this down.
They passed me that Hypnotic and a Black and Mild. It's mid 2000. Like literally, like that's that's a good time in my opinion. You ask me. Maybe it's because my life is crystallized in that point, but that was just a wonderful time of ignorance. Like nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. Everybody's clothes were way too big, and hats were all the rage. It's a I miss the mid 2000s in New York City because that was definitely a funny time for me. The fact that people would get aggravated with each other because their bubble jackets were so big at one point, like because you're sandwiched in a subway next to another human being who has like a marmot or like one of those like really inflated like North Faces. You're just like, yo, come on, take that shit off. Like you just, man, frustration. I want to keep up this theme of emotional trauma in our formative years because I was sharing this story before, and I think Sasha, you deserve to hear it also because you heard a snippet of it. But I'll share with you the time that I had a Homer Simpson moment, and the way I always describe that is basically what happened was I had a voice of an angel at one point.
What age are we talking?
I want to say 7th grade, so like 12, 13, like right around that mid stage of when, for at least boys, they're becoming men, some of your friends have like super, like they're hairy for no reason. Some kids have beards. Lots of kids smell like shit. So like, it's a weird time in your life, right? Especially like you're going to middle school. So I remember going into chorus class and for some reason discovering this talent that I had, and I had such a good talent that I actually got tapped to be a part of a recital. And one of the songs was "Hero" by Mariah Carey, and I was to sing it opposite of a girl that I was completely crushing on. Like 100%. Like this was a girl that developed earlier than everyone else. This was a girl that we were the same age and she was like nice to me. So like, that was the criteria for me at that age and still really
you're
now,
in love.
right? Yeah. Like I'm like basically dedicating my life to you. Yeah. And please know that we will have like secret songs with each other that you don't know about. This is something that I think, people don't talk about enough, that how embarrassing it is to be like, at that point in your life where you're literally dedicating the most cringy shit in the world to somebody that doesn't know about it. And anyway, I'm singing with her. We're at the recital and we're at the point where, and then a hero comes and my voice drops. Like it literally cracks like that in front of teachers, students, and family, along with staff and the public, because they could have bought a ticket that night and just walked in, right? And I did this opposite of a girl who I thought I was getting sympathy points from because like a week before I like fucked up my leg and I went to this place unadvised, but I wanted to do it because I wanted to be that dude. Like that's what it was. Like I wanted to impress her. I wanted her to go like, wow. He came here with like a fucked up leg and sang his ass off. But nope. Whatever superior being is out there, check me the fuck out, bro. I was just like, yo, this is not your day. This is not your day. And I've never got that voice back. So whatever entity you are, I'm going to fight you when we're at the final boss level. Because I'm in a JRPG and you have to deal with it.
I love how this is trauma for you for some reason.
Because I still remember it. Why do I remember it? Why do I remember that terrible sinking feeling of having this crush with somebody and then disappointing them and them never wanting to see me in that light again because I was at that precipice, right? So I think, every young person goes through this where they feel like they're about to impress their crush and they fall like, on their face, or they trip at gym, or they fuck up, they get beat up in front of everyone, but it's not like one of those like where she like feels like she has to stop somebody. She's like jumping in with everybody else.
Damn,
she's like,
we're getting fucked up.
And then she goes with the gang member home. This is New York City in the late 90s. Okay, young people. I don't know if it's like that anymore. I feel like we're getting back there. I feel like it's getting more dangerous. I don't know about you, Joey. Why don't you report on the streets?
I have no knowledge of the streets. I don't
I love how
even.
we just both laughed as if we were talking about like gangbanging 4 minutes ago. Like Joe was like, "Yeah, I caught a body today. How are you guys?"
It would have
I
been great.
I don't even take streets. I don't even like streets, Your Honor. I don't even know
He
Well,
what
doesn't
street
even
is.
drive.
I
He's like, I
Literally.
skateboard on the sidewalk to work. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No,
Speaking of
I
crime,
believe
though, I came up with a conspiracy, right?
Uh-oh.
I mean, no. Here's my thing, right? I think, right. So, do you know how like white men have all the money, right? Right? They just
Yes.
have all the money. They've always had all the money because of the slavery, this, that, or whatever,
Sure.
white supremacy, right? Now, here's the thing: these white men who have this money for long periods of time, like entertainment, kind of like wasn't really allowed unless it was with like white men, right? Like you had plays where they had
Black.
blackface, you could only be white in the plays. You know, you had like everything like lowbrow was considered
Had to be
classless unless
straight.
it was kind of centered around straight white men, right? But I came up with something. I was like, all right, so when you start a business, and I did no research on this, but because that must make a conspiracy fun. But when you start a business or entertainment company or anything, right? You have to go through the bank. You have to get a loan to launch these things, right? And
Tell that to
I
Akon.
would Akon reference in the middle of the pod. But no, here's my thing, right?
You're welcome.
It got me to thinking, right? Who the fuck decided, like, what bank decided that cartoons were marketable, right? This is some crazy shit, right? This is just drawings on paper, you know, going really fast. Like, why would I put money behind this? But wait,
Because it's
do you
cheap.
remember do you remember the one trope in cartoons that happened all the fucking time?
Sure.
The banks getting robbed.
Yeah.
Who the fuck robs a bank? I think bank robbery is like a conspiracy. Like that had to be like a stipulation in like the contract for like Looney Tunes or whatever the fuck, whatever the Hanna-Barbera. Like you got to have like one, no matter what you produce forever, there has to be a bank robbery episode. There's
To
a
teach kids
Bugs
not to
Bunny.
rob banks.
No, to teach people that like stealing money from this corrupt system is terrible.
Wrong.
When in reality, we know that all your money's insured. You could rob a bank and nobody is hurt except the bank. And not
Yes.
even hurt that much. You could literally steal an entire vault full of money and you would
A
hurt
bank
no one.
might not have much money. It might not have as much money as you think. If you go to like a commercial bank, you know, we're not talking about, you know, local savings banks that actually have cash on hand. Most of it's like sometimes just liquid, right? Like it's not going to exist. You're not going to go into some place and
Yeah.
have like, you know, tens of millions of dollars on hand. You know, maybe $1 million for that day.
Right. It's-
Maybe
This
maybe
is like 1920. This is pre-Bitcoin, my friend. This is all this money is real and it's in one place in town. And I think the bankers were
God
just
damn.
like, all right, we'll let this idea fly if you just make sure that fucking Scooby-Doo is always solving a mystery about somebody stealing some fucking money.
You know what you forgot? I want you to make me a cartoon. Like you can't be talking about that period of time and not admit that for some reason Americans all of a sudden wanted to talk like that. How did we get that trope? I don't know.
Yo,
Maybe it's the same person who came up with the bank robbery trope because it definitely sounds like somebody who's gonna rob a bank. Hand over all the what do you clams? Hand over all the clams.
Clams.
That sounds terrible, right?
Because honestly, if you think about it, like, and this isn't a time too. Wait, are you ready? I'm getting deeper in the conspiracy. 1920s, 1930s. This is the time. There's no DNA. There's barely cameras for like you could really get away with robbing a bank. In fact, I think robbing a bank was probably one of the most popular forms of crime. If I can just do that with no research,
I mean,
it wasn't even like illegal to hit your wife. So like you could beat up and rape them. It wasn't going on record, but you could totally like steal shit, and that was seen as bad. And I feel like as a people, we were like, wait a minute, why don't we just keep stealing? There's nothing else to stop us from doing this. Until they were like, wait, if we can get the kids on our side and have them brainwashed and think bank robbers are bad because you know, Bugs Bunny stopping a bank robber, then we can fucking the next generation will not have this problem of stealing from us. It kind of checks out. If you do no research at all, it kind of checks out. Because like you gotta think about it too. Like they were robbing banks in the Wild West. Like that's one of the oldest crimes. Just
National
robbing, stealing shit.
MEATSPIRACIES. National MEATSPIRACIES. Welcome to the National Meat Treasure, where we want you to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Remember that we will drop episodes every Thursday, and this is why, because you get MEATSPIRACIES and they work. Because if we are, listen, I'm convinced. You made a convincing argument because I'm sold. Because now that I think about it, I was literally going to say that's one of the oldest tropes is robbing a bank in Westerns. It's fun. But it always ends in some kind of terrible tragedy, right? Because these guys are ultimately shitty bad guys. That's what it is. The Italian Job, the fucking, Ocean's 8 to fucking 35. Like, it's just about how bad it is to be bad. But the reality is, let's rob banks, allegedly, from the national.
You know what it is too. You know what it is too. It's like if you really look at it, right? You have bank robbing as this super old crime people have been doing since the dawn of money, or theft generally, since even before currency. You were stealing things, right? True. And it's like you have the cartoons infecting the youth, saying, "Hey, don't rob banks." When we're playing cops and robbers, always be cops, which we know those are just tools of the bourgeoisie. And then
you're damn right.
You don't even have like people really turning their brains on and having a little sympathy for the bank robber until around the 1990s when Keanu Reeves stars in Point Break, one of my favorite movies, actually. So that's when you finally have the bank robber with duality.
That's what happened to me in Dead Presidents.
Actually,
when I saw that. Okay,
Dead Presidents
you should, because it does make you feel that, and this is like obviously. It's a crime drama in set in a city, so it felt really real. It didn't feel like Point Break is amazing because what it's able to do and get you along for the excitement and all that, but it's ultimately a fucking cop movie. So fuck Keanu Reeves in that movie. I don't care how many
it's bullets it's like a chill surfer cop.
Yeah, so fucking chill that he shot bullets into the air and laid on the ground the entire time as if bullets wouldn't land back at him. You sack of shit. Fuck you. You know what it was? Dead Presidents is way more convincing, if we're going to be honest, because I literally cried. What about Set It Off? Holy shit.
That's what I was just about to mention. Set It Off. Like, I think that's what happened, right?
It was Set It Off.
The previous generation grew up on these cops and robbers cartoons, and they were like, "Oh, bank robbing is bad." And then we grew up on Set It Off, Point Break, where we were like, "Well, there's nuance." And there's
definitely nuance. There's definitely nuance.
These criminals are people who are just struggling in a system.
They're in a system.
They're just looking for a thrill, and they don't want to escape the 9 to 5.
Set It Off.
Set It Off was the shit.
Is the most grounded shit in the world, right? Even though it's kind of like it's semi ridiculous, right? But like only in the way that most people don't work up the nerve to go as far as to kill someone with weapons and all that. A good amount of people can, but the reality is that fucking shit makes you feel really for the characters because each one has their own arc and where they find themselves there, right? And some of them are absolutely looking for it, and some of them are absolutely in strife because they're being crushed by a penal system. Fuck you, for-profit prisons.
You know what? Now I'm starting to think, right? Because this might be a trope. Because all right, so we got all came out in the 90s. Dead Presidents, Set It Off, Point Break, Heat. Heat was another movie. Where the robber wasn't, they were bad, but not that bad,
Well,
what was
my
I just Googled Blue Streak, Jackie Brown. This was actually a big trope of the 90s.
Hold on, Serpico. You remember Serpico? Like you had a man who was literally a police officer being targeted by other police officers because he's telling everybody about the shit that they're doing. Like, planting drugs and stealing money in crack raids and, like pointing out like racial profiling. And this was based on an actual person. So that fucking shit, like when you're like a kid and you I caught this like obviously in the 90s when at 20 years after it's released, but it was something that changed my mind. Like it's something that makes you think like, okay, you like this idea now exist, right? That like there can be mistrust between me and an officer, not only because my community sees it like that, but now I'm seeing media that points me and tells me that, yeah, this is a reality. You can walk into, an institution that's absolutely corrupt, and they will target their own to make sure they never get the corruption never gets discovered. That's a fucking good film, bro. God damn, I love that movie.
If I was a cop, there's no way I'm not
being a cop, bro.
gonna take fucking money during a fucking raid, bro. If I see the cash there, I'm fucking taking it. If I'm a cop, I'm fucking taking the shit.
There was an HBO show that dropped not too long ago. I don't know if you guys caught this, but it was basically with John Bernthal, a dude who played Punisher. Okay. And he plays a cop in Boston, right around the Freddie Gray, basically disturbance, right? What would we call that? Not insurrection. Insurrection's what happened in January. Protests? Yeah. I think there was more than that. Like there was definitely more. Right. Like there was a lot of police brutality that was just like on exhibit. And
got it.
It was like, that's what it is, because like when you're seeing like any of it, but they don't dramatize it. They kind of like do plain reporting of what happened with John Bernthal's acting. Like it's fucking awesome. Like you hate him and despise him by the end of it. And they do this wonderful trip on it. If you're able to watch it, they start off because I'm trying to remember what it was. I'll look that up because it's a really good one. It's on HBO right now. It does deserve, I think, a shout out because it actually, in my opinion, it's underrated. Like it went under the radar for the most part. We Own the City. And it's Baltimore from like 2001 to 2000.
I remember seeing a trailer for it.
Okay, yeah, it was hot. It was really good. Literally, like he's great at those kind of gripping moments, and he makes you despise him because he plays like one of the most like probably the more like despicable police officers in the city. Like they document everything they did all throughout like Baltimore and Baltimore City, the kind of money that they were stealing, the kind of profiling and bullshit they pulled on people, the kind of like power dynamics they would use, the drug trading. The man had like full on pill trading, oxycodone, anything he would take from evidence lockers and sell it hot. Like I mean, every crooked thing you can think of. So yeah, I'm glad that things like that exist, because it's like even if you want to like pretend, you can't pretend anymore. You can't like pretend that like it's just jolly ollie officer Krupke that's just making sure the beat street is clean and everybody get like no, bro, that doesn't exist. Like sure, there's gonna be those instances of maybe good people at the job, but they show it at a level, bro, that you go, it is obviously systematic, but it's so wide that it goes into the Department of Defense.
Damn.
Yeah. And it's just like, because it's non-action, because, when they invite these people that are supposed to talk at length as to why we should introduce legislation, talk about police reform, all those kind of things, it becomes lip service. Right, because it just falls on deaf ears. Yeah, and they show it right offhand. Because who is it that's also in that? She's I really love her. Like I have a giant crush on her. I can't pronounce her name. Wunmi Musako. She's Nigerian. I think American born. I'm not sure, but she's awesome. She was in Lovecraft Country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So, with all that being said, are we going to shut this podcast down and become the National Meat Treasure Reservoir Dogs? Is that what the operation is?
Yes.
Am I Steve Buscemi right now?
No, I've always wanted we don't need to do that. We don't need murder in our ranks. I don't want to like distrust you. I don't want to go through that, because that's I want to be
about that one guy
bank robber.
There was a bank robber who I saw like a thing about him where basically his whole thing was he would go to the bank, all covered up, maxed up, slip a letter under the thing saying, give me $4,000, whatever. And he did this at like a bunch of different locations because like, I guess that's like bank protocol. Like you're supposed to just give up the money and say nothing, whatever. And then I guess he finally got caught, and I think the reason he got caught was like a slip up. Like it wasn't like he was like living in a small town. He was like almost on his deathbed or whatever, and he was just like, "Fucking, I'm gonna rob some banks." But then like he got caught,
Damn.
and then he only ended up getting like 4 years in prison because he never used a weapon. Like he just asked for money and they gave it to him. So he got like 4 years, and then they never found the money. So yeah,
It's kind of a weird deal. I still don't want to go to prison. I think it's
I don't know exactly how much money. I think they said it was
It's
like
just
2 million he stole.
the stakes are just a lot lower, you know.
there.
The stakes are a lot
better.
lower.
Like it's better than
Would-
like having weed on you in the 90s. Like that's what I'll say.
Would you
It's like,
serve? Would you serve 4 years in prison for $2 million?
Nah, that's not
Mm-mm.
enough.
mm-mm.
I would have to get an inflation calculator to see if more than $2 million would be worth in 4 years, but I'd probably do
That's
it.
a fact. That's a fact. Nah, two
I
is
can't
not
hold
enough.
it down. I'm
I would
not
need 10.
built for prison. I'm not built for prison.
I mean, I feel like if nobody found out about my deal, like let's say no one's finding out about my deal,
Yeah.
and it's like a medium security facility, I think I'll be all right. 4
I'm-
years? I feel like high school was worse. I went to high school with people who are probably definitely in jail now or dead.
Yes.
So I can't
Okay.
I can't really
A lot of
say
people
that.
dead.
And dead, jail, and going through puberty. I feel like adults can't be as bad.
I don't know. I'm gonna disagree with you there, sir, because there's nothing in the world that's gonna get me to go to Rikers like willingly. That's not something that I look forward in my life. Even at like those kind of minimum state security like prisons, they fucking suck. Okay, I don't think anything could get me like.
I don't know.
there.
I know a bunch of people who went to Rikers for a couple of years, and they came out pretty fine on the other end.
I
Almost
think I only
everything I
know
hear
one
about
person.
everything I hear about people coming out of jail is like, it's not like the movies. Like, it's not maximum security. You're not gonna get fucked in the ass or anything. Like, it's just a bunch of niggas trying to like bide their time. It's not like you might get into like a fight on like like some niggas coming to jail. They're there for like 6
Way to
months. They're
dispel the
losing
myth.
their mind. I think somebody told me once they were saying that like there's like a spike you go through in prison where it's like niggas go to jail and then they realize like after like 6-7 months, oh shit, I'm in jail and I gotta be here for X amount more years or more months, and they
Yeah.
kind of start wilding out. But like it's not like niggas go through that at the same time. So like for the most part, you just chilling with niggas that you would chill with on your block anyway. Except y'all get
Interesting.
yard time and you don't have to complain about work because you don't have a job.
Leave it
It
to
looks like
Sasha to make prison sound like a good idea.
You're making it sound like
It's
it's
not a good
day
idea
spa.
at all. It's not a good idea at all. And
But-
I'm just saying, if I'm not going to do anything
million.
illegal to put me in jail, but if I'm
Right,
getting $2
right.
million on the other side
Right.
of that, bro, there's
Right.
people who go to college, get no pussy, pay $100,000, and then work at Chipotle for at least a couple of years after that, and then are in
And
debt
still,
$100,000.
and still owe another $100,000.
Bro, there's people who work at my job who went to college, and I'm like, damn, that must suck because we are not getting a bag right now. Like, the fact that you weren't
No.
here after that degree, damn, dog, you must be going through it. Don't have no kids, don't have a single one.
It,
You know, like-
sales
you know,
life's
like-
rough, bro.
You know,
Sales
I
life
give
is
to
rough.
people who gone to college and not ended up in like some kind of career in their field.
Oh, yeah.
I give
All
it
the
up
time.
to them because it's like you knew this shit wasn't on crack.
Mm-mm.
We've known this shit for a long time that like it
Yep.
was very not possible, and you stood disciplined and you fucking put yourself through it. Because
You
I don't know,
what?
schools.
Good for them.
The idea of going to school is like fucking unbearable to me now.
Here's my thing. How do I put it? I don't regret not going to school. Well, it's like half and half because it's like, okay, I wish I would have went to school not 18 to 22, but instead like 22 to 20 or like 23 to like 27, where I was a little more financially savvy. I wouldn't have signed away my life. I also was like an independent. I was living by myself. So like I would have to pay like less money. And also, here's the thing. I think one of the things that convinced me not to go to college was how many fucking bum ass dorks I knew. Like, there's a lot of niggas who don't get nothing from college because the whole every interview you see where people are talking about like, how do you are you successful? Did you get that way from college? 99% of them will say college is fun and it's cool to build a network, but most people don't end up doing what they
supposed to do
the
there.
things about college that are cool are like the main thing is the network. The other thing is you learn a lot better time management and a lot better like self-discipline and like doing shit on your own because you're for 4 years you have deadlines and papers and shit like that you are basically paying money if you miss. So you get those skills. But in terms of that, like a lot of people I know who like didn't go to like went to college and like did not get like the position they wanted out of college. It's because they had no fucking friends. They were dorks. They fucking either they weren't even dorks, but like schoolwork beat their ass so much that they did not have like a social life. Like they could not make the balance happen.
So those college students didn't get what they needed out of college, but you know what they did get, Sasha? They got $10,000 in debt forgiveness. Is that official?
I think I don't know if it's official. The government moves super slow, but from what I hear, it's 20,000 now, and it's 20,000 if you make under 130 grand, which kind of sounds low.
It's like 20,000 if you qualified for the Pell Grant, which is like under a certain income level, you get 20,000. Everybody else is 10,000 first up to a certain amount of debt or some shit like that.
Well, I'm glad that
you got to make under 150,000, which like. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, I think the way I saw somebody put it, they were like, imagine I loaned you $100 and I said, you owe me $1 a day interest until you pay me back.
Yes.
And now 300 days have passed, you owe me $400. And then I say, oh, I'll take 100 off. You still owe me money from air. So I'm not actually doing a nice thing for you. I'm just kind of being a dickhead. Knowing I have 100, and it's like, now imagine this person has millions of dollars and billions, and they want you for your little couple hundred there.
Yeah, but though that 10K debt relief is helping someone, it's helping some people. I'm glad,
definitely,
and I wish it was.
Although,
more.
Shout out to the people who like got their loans. I was talking to my homegirl last night, and she basically. The stipulations in her loan were basically she could like if she didn't have a job, she can defer them, and she got fired from a bunch of jobs after college. Then she started her own business and then had to pay them. But then Corona hit, so she didn't have to pay them. And now I think she like owes 30,000, and like now that 20,000 is getting deferred, like she's winning. That's less than my car.
There we go. That's fantastic.
Big dub, sis. Big dub.
I hope
good for you, bro.
You have,
and
a good
also
day.
she's like on track to be a millionaire anyway. So whether she had to pay that or not,
maybe she can sponsor our podcast.
Please sponsor our podcast.
You know what's funny? I'm not going to mention her because it would be probably bad for her brand, but she is going to be on television soon, and she's going to be on I think Kelly Clarkson's show. And she, I was like, plug my podcast. Wow. She was like. I'm not. Her business is something for children, so she definitely cannot plug this podcast.
Just send her a National Meat Treasure shirt. I'm gonna send her one today.
She can silently invest.
Yeah. Angel investor.
Just give us money to bullshit about third grade crushes. Yes.
Yeah. Just like $1,000 each, so that we could each, I don't know, take like a week off work and then make some content. Sponsor the shit.
I like that.
I mean, I am gonna. Oh, by the way, I am taking a week off. In the end of September to go to DR, so I don't know if you guys want to do this without me.
Nice.
We'll discuss it. But I like this plan because good for you, my friend. Good for you.
First time out of the country.
Wow. Not only
besides Canada, but
but bless because you deserve it. I think you're gonna have a good time. Enjoy some mofongo or some juca. Goddamn, now I just got hungry. Dominican food is mad good, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Talk about the tres golpes in the morning, bro. I don't know how Dominicans like get up and actually do anything. That might be why stereotypes exist. I don't know why, but when you start the day with like a giant plate of plátanos, like a mango, like you're boiling down plátanos and adding mad salt and butter and all that. Then you got cebolla roja, the pickled red onions, all over the place, fried cheese, fried salami, bro. Like, how do you move? Like, that is
Speaking
like full on rectal blockage.
This actually brings me to something I wanted to show. I was talking about earlier. So anybody I know who's gone to Europe, specifically London, has said the food is, absolutely terrible. And
damn
today, I was talking to a friend about this, and just out of curiosity, I just wanted to like know what their food looked like. Like we know the beans and toast and fish and chips, eh? But
Fingers and mash. Like none of that, bro.
but
None of
I kind
dumpling.
of wanted
any of
to.
that.
I kind of wanted to see something.
You ever see
So
the
I just
guys?
googled. Wait, I googled best restaurant in London, and it's a restaurant called Hyde. Let me show you this fucking Instagram if I could find it,
I gotta
because
say,
this is the most unappetizing fucking food I have ever seen in my life.
you know how I
Hyde.
know food ain't good? They never try to show us any food in Top Boy. Like, and they're literally like at a tea shop or a chicken shop, whatever that fucking place is, all
It's a tea
day.
shop.
And the
It's a
only
tea
thing
shop.
that gets in front of him is a cup of tea. Like literally, they carry out full on murders of swaths of people. But do you see
And you
them
never see
enjoy a
them
nice
eating.
like
No,
meal? No,
no, no.
fuck no.
Of course
Especially-
not, because I mean, do you
Misery and
get an
murder.
appetite when you're murdering people?
Probably.
Maybe.
It's
I think you
burning a lot of
should.
calories.
That is a lot of calories. Think about the
Fighting on the
strength.
ops is burning fat, bro.
Bro,
It's
think
gotta
about think about what's his name. I can't remember who's the main character.
Jamie, Sully, Duchesne.
Duchesne. Think about Duchesne and the fact that he's having panic attacks that are knocking him out. Like, bro, he's expending like so much like energy towards like all of this like crazy shit that's happening in his life, and then carrying out crazier shit. Like the I don't know, bro. Like
It's because all he's eating is fries and fucking fish sticks.
and tea. It's just tea all day, just liquid shits. He's poor guy. Shredded, and man fucks.
OD.
Again,
OD.
the man fucks. Like to bring it back around, the man fucks. If you watch Top Boy and you don't look at Duchesne and don't go, I think the guy fucks. Like even from the first episode, bro, when he's like Dusty in Jamaica and he's like getting beat around. Remember those first episodes, bro?
Yeah.
Damn.
He was
That's
all
like first
scruffy.
love.
It was like, damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Yo, back home, he was the man. What are you doing out here in Jamaica, bro? You look bad.
Yeah,
That was
really
crazy.
those
Yeah.
were great episodes, bro.
I can't open the Instagram, but I'm gonna send you guys a picture, and I want you to tell me if this shit looks appetizing, because copy image. First of all, the prices are not listed on the internet, so it must be crazy. But it's got almost 2,000 4-star reviews, and
gotta see this.
it is the most disgusting food I've ever seen. It looks like paintings. It doesn't look like food.
All right. Here we go.
Ooh, that
That's
makes
not
me
gross.
uncomfortable. That makes
It's
me
just
uncomfortable.
weird.
It's very medical looking.
I like the bread.
Bro, it's literally there's literally a piece of meat with a feather stabbed through it, and like a nugget. It's like
Why
a
are we
nugget.
doing that?
I closed the window. I didn't
I
want to
was
see
looking
it
at
anymore.
the bread. I
was
focused
making me
on the bread and
uncomfortable.
the sauce because the bread looks
The way
amazing.
it was sharp. The way it was sharp is making
You
me
know,
uncomfortable.
You're not.
The
you're
bread
not
is
wrong.
sharp. It's sharp
The bread
bread.
is sharp.
The
You're
lighting,
right, guys.
the
It gets
lighting
worse
looks
as I
kinda
look
like,
at it.
The lighting looks kind of like the CGI of like
Like
a
Luxor
modern Tim Burton
Pixar?
film.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's like that kind of looked fake,
Really
and
choppy
that's
and
making me a little bit
shitty.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
got
like
you.
Dude, there was
Unnatural.
It's like Mrs. Incredible. It's like too perfect. You can see it's super
This
smooth.
is incredible, bro.
No.
Dude, there was something on the menu that was like a steamed tulip.
We don't need to even give him more love because this is
Steamed
weird.
tulip.
It does get worse as you look
Do we
at
have
it. You
UK
don't-
listeners? I feel like we have abroad listeners, but I don't know where.
What is
Nah,
that, bro?
I mean, I'd much
That
rather
is a
eat-
picture of what? Let me bring
Steamed
this up again.
fish with like
That
white
is
sauce.
I have no
Some
idea what that
pink
is.
shit.
It looks like a flower petal
I don't know what's going
on
on.
a piece
here,
of
bro.
cottage cheese.
How do you eat
I think
that?
that's like a steamed fish of some kind, but it's like the size of like my index and pinky finger, and with a garnish that is. It looks like just an autumn leaf.
It literally does. It looks like my
So-
kid brought it in from outside. Like he just grabbed the leaf that he saw. He was like, "Dad, look at this. It's weird looking," and then put it on top of fish.
I can't believe how bored rich people are. I really can't. I just can't believe
I
that
can't.
like they do all this dumb weird
They
shit.
hunt people. That's how
I
bored
had
they
to
are.
look up. I had to look up fish and chips to ground myself.
To ground
And
yourself.
It looks good as fuck. It's just like fries, fried potatoes, and fried fish. Like
You
Hey,
hear
super.
about this?
It's like it could like technically be healthy, but it's like really not because it's all fried. But it's like technically,
can we talk
protein.
about
Hear about this one guy, this TikTok guy. So there's a TikToker, I forget his name, but he
TikTok
basically did
mentioned?
a thing where he went to an event with like the third richest painter in the world, and this guy was like just a regular white guy. I don't know who this painter was,
So what does he make?
but
Like 50,000
basically,
a year?
no, like millions, like
Okay,
billions
fine.
almost. And this guy, this TikToker, comes up to this guy and says, "Hey, let's play hangman." So he plays hangman with this rich artist, and then takes the hangman, and then like he gets all the words wrong on purpose. He's like, "Oh, it's a Q, is it Z?" So the artist can keep like drawing the circle of the hangman and the body of the hangman on this piece of paper, and then he like runs away and then posts it on Instagram and says, "I have an official piece of art from this guy," and he's getting messages on Instagram like, "I will give you $125,000 for that."
That's crazy.
And then you know what he does? He's getting messages like, "I'll pay this much, this much, this much if you can get it signed. If it was signed, I would pay that much." So what does this TikToker do? He takes the same piece of paper from Hangman and he puts a contract over it, goes to another event with this rich guy, and then goes, "Hey, can you just sign this waiver saying we could film you?" And then he pulls the waiver back, and it's actually like, so this guy just basically signed his own lost game of Hangman, and then he goes off to sell it. Or I didn't see the third part of the TikTok, but he was still getting offers in the six figures.
Seems like a crime. This seems like a crime. Let's be honest here. Maybe this is
a crime we
lesson.
support. Is it in the same league as bank robbery? Would you watch this movie if Keanu Reeves was the famous artist?
The theft of someone's intellectual property is much more heinous than their assets. It's not,
Hangman is like, intellectual property.
I think so.
Trying to.
If you're trying to outsmart somebody to get them into doing something that they didn't consent to, hey, listen, man, that's really the ultimate.
The artist is like low key in on the joke. Like he gets it. Like right. he gets it during the signing part. Like he knows who this guy is now because he's gone viral. Like and he's like, "Oh, you're the guy trying to sell my painting or sell my quote unquote artwork." Ha ha ha. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm here again. Just let me sign this so we could put you on the TikTok." He's like, "Yeah, sure." And then he like, do you think they do that? Like, gotcha, bitch, and he runs away.
You think they do that at Basquiat, or they pull that on? They probably did pull that on. What's his name? Good old Van Gogh with no ear. They were like, ha, stupid. And then all his paintings are like millions of dollars after his death. So I don't know. They probably
Basquiat's rolling in his grave. They sell like Basquiat merch at Target.
They really do. It's terrible. Nobody. It is just a fund at this point, I'm sure. Just like the Bob Ross fund. So don't watch that terrible movie that makes you really sad and hurt inside. Because you'll learn a lot of dark things about the world, and none of what you do belongs to you as long as it exists. Anybody can do whatever.
I think your world is dark because you watched a Bob Ross movie.
It is dark. It is. It's. You ever seen that meme? With those two Japanese artists, the guy who made Pocoyo, and then the guy like what's his name, Mizani, and it's like they're two contrasting arts. Like, one guy has a really sunny disposition, but he draws the most horrific things in the world, and the other guy has like a shit personality, hates everything around him, and makes the most beautiful art, like anime that you've ever seen in your entire life, like things that literally inspire people, but you hate everybody and life at the same time. Like it makes no sense. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. I don't know why I live there, but now I do.
Well, that's just our conflicting personalities, my friend.
The two dogs that are inside of you.
Both two sides of the same fucking coin.
Inside of you. One only once. Destruction. That's actually
speaking of the dark side. I had a thought today, guys. Which white rapper do you think would win in an all-white rapper brawl?
I need the list of all of them.
Let's get the list. Let's see. Russ, Logic, because he's counted as white. Eminem. What's that dude who like was really big? Yellow Wolf. MGK.
Yellow Wolf might put some damage.
There's that one new guy that nobody really knows about. His name is like Numbers or something. Let's
What about Max
Google
the
white
Demon?
rappers.
Max the Demon.
Max the Demon.
Just enters the chat.
Does
and
Max the
everybody
Demon really count?
I don't know.
Does he count? Because
as a white
I
man?
don't know.
I don't think he knows. I don't think anyone else knows except for the people that are watching him on YouTube. Because like, yo, you ever seen the comment section on a Max the Demon video? Like, if you haven't done it, Sasha, this is a good time. We need to mark this one down because look at his comment section. That shit is the best thing in the world. I cry like that. Like, it's a joy that people get on there and have the best jokes in the world. Literally, one comment was like, "Can you imagine poor Max's family just saying we want our poor Max back home?" Like, I lost it. I was like, "Fuck this shit!" Completely off it.
Are we counting Mark Wahlberg as a white rapper?
No. Yeah, we are. Come on,
I'm now on a list of white rappers. You got Lil Dicky, that new guy NF. The Beastie Boys, Action Bronson. This could be a really good fight, honestly. Kid Rock. Are we counting Kid Rock?
Action Bronson's working out. I'll give it to him. He might be really hard to put down.
Now I'm finding myself in a point of contention because I feel like there's a genre of white rappers. Like you named a lot of rappers that are white, right? But there's the white rapper genre that some white rappers kind of are not in. For example, like Max the Demon. Yeah, it wouldn't count because he like does drill. And like there's like that's not like that's like he's really from out there. That's just like a different one as opposed to like the Eminems, Yellow Wolves, NFs, Ritz.
Yeah, you know, Macklemore.
We talking
Macklemore, like
so not just rappers that are white ethnically, just in the white rap category that Eminem has opened up for the world. So you got Eminem, Yellow Wolf,
we never
Russ,
even said also Jack Harlow. Of course,
Jack Harlow. I think most people could beat up Jack Harlow.
Oh honestly. Yeah, everyone can.
Most things that exist.
You know who beat him up? Lil Nas X dunked on the man, like at one point, like completely disrespected poor Jack Harlow because
dunked on with his penis.
Sure. I hope they fucked. Honestly, I hope that sex tape exists somewhere and it gets released, and you know, we all revel in it because I'm sure, like either him, Lil Nas X throwing it back or throwing it forward is progressive enough for us to enjoy. You know, the man's does what? I was just not going to say something gay.
Let's just go back because I'm going to say something gay. So speaking of which. So I didn't see the Isaiah Rashad sex tape, right? In this sex tape, he's supposedly getting sucked off by two men. I didn't see it, and I'm just now finding out that these men were white. So is that progress or homophobia that we were more shocked? Like we were so shocked he was gay, we didn't even mention the fact that it was interracial. I did not know this until months later, and I listen to podcasts every day.
I've never heard of this. I don't even know who you're talking about, honestly.
Isaiah Rashad is a rapper who basically he's on the same label as
Kendrick Lamar.
And a Twitter tape leaked of him getting his dick sucked by two men who I assumed were black, and they apparently were white. I did not know this.
I read that they were white when I first heard of it. I read that they were white. And, you know, as a person of color who loves white women, I was like, good for bro.
Good for his reparations.
I understand, you know.
Can you imagine getting sucked off
by
two white
dick, bro? No.
I just imagine you like walking past the room like, good for you. What's that meme of that white guy shaking his head by the river?
Yeah, exactly what happens. He comes out as sexually fluid.
Get that top, boy.
You know, really.
So, but back to the topic at hand. So, of the white rappers in the white rapper category, Lil Dicky, NF, Yellow Wolf, Eminem. We're not counting Paul Wall, right? Paul Wall's a legend,
right? Like he's the right. He would not count. Paul Wall would not.
We're not counting Action
Bronson.
He's
definitely a white rapper,
right?
But they're definitely white rappers. Listen, here's the thing:
they're ethnically white, not style-wise white.
Okay, maybe not, but the reality is that they benefit off the fact that they are white, right? So that they benefit off the fact that they're obviously easier to digest, right? In certain ways, right? Like Action Bronson is 100%. nobody can like completely say no. He does sound like Ghostface, like, and that's not a bad thing. That's him improving on the style that he saw, and then decided that there was parts that he loved of that, and he wanted to use it with his own voice, and he did it in certain ways. So he's grown as a musician, and he's figured that out.
I'm just saying strictly in combat. I'm saying in a all out brawl. Actually, let's have two categories. Let's have ethnically white rappers who are accepted by black people, and then another brawl of a separate. So in the first brawl of the white rappers, we got Eminem, NF, Logic. Does Post Malone count? Nah, he never really rapped.
He sucks.
Nah, he totally rapped. He totally raps. Yeah,
he like R&B rapped. He didn't really rap.
I
He didn't white rap.
I think that counts.
Put it this way,
because his following is big within that white rap community.
Huge.
Okay, I'll give it to you like this: if you can listen to the song, to any of these artists' songs, without knowing who they are and know instinctively they are white, they're in the white category. So I will not put Mac Miller in that category.
No, that's bullshit, bro. Right. Come on. Yes, you can. You listen to Donald Trump, and that's exactly who you think.
That was like, okay, we're honoring what Mac Miller died with. All right. What was that tape? The Vagina Monologues, or like the breakup tape or something? I don't know. Yeah. This was giving Andre 3000 funk. You would not tell he was white. So we're gonna disclude that era. Also, I don't think he would. Also, he's kind of small. I don't think he's a contender anyway. No, a lot of these guys we're talking about, they're very lanky. Like G-Eazy, he's like 6'5". He's got a lot of reach. Eminem is tall as fuck. Yellow Wolf looks like a scarecrow from Batman.
He does. He really dresses like him too.
This sounds kind of scary in my head. Like this in my head, I'm kind of thinking of all these white rappers as like what are the trees in Lord of the Rings that start to move?
I don't know, but that's topical
because like giants in my head.
Because they're coming out with a series on Amazon, and I don't know, man. I don't really give a shit. But
stay on topic, man. We still got this. Why are all these guys so tall? Like I'm on a list right now. Macklemore is long as shit. Machine Gun Kelly is long as shit. Why are all these rappers so long?
They're all fucking Vikings.
I believe the word is tall, but
they had to fight.
I don't even want to give them tall. They're just like lurchy, really. Lurchy. I think if we include Mark Wahlberg, he wins it all. But if we don't include it, I think Vanilla Ice might take it. Vanilla Ice is pretty stocky these days.
Yeah, big.
Vanilla Ice is a little dangerous in that situation.
I mean, I'm gonna just default and say I think Eminem is going to kill some of these niggas just because
he survived all those overdoses.
I think Eminem is numb. Like, I don't think Eminem would like. I think Eminem has one emotion. Like, here's what I think about Eminem, right? I have been given Eminem chance after chance to show me that he's got brain cells left, and he's been rapping the same terribly for like the last 8-10 years. Like, I don't think an Eminem could muster enough emotion to win a fight. I think it's between Machine Gun Kelly because he's got a lot to prove right now.
He'll bite you, bro. He'll bite you. That's the thing. He'll bite and he will win because of that shit.
He'll bite. All right, I'm going to go through it. G-Eazy's not going to win because G-Eazy just wants to fuck, right? So he's just going to he's going to tap out early, get one of his concubines to suck him off. Little Dicky, I think he's going to hide scared in the corner and just get stomped out, just take the least damage as possible. Let's see, if we're not including Mark Wahlberg, though, let's say, who else is in this? Yellow Wolf will beat the shit out of Logic, dude. I think Yellow Wolf might beat everybody else with Logic's body.
I think Yellow Wolf wins, honestly, if we're being honest. He's probably the most, well-rounded. He's got the height. He's got a little bit of like he had a fight or two.
There's a lot of.
You know what? I'm gonna give you guys a surprise, right? What happens is
him dressing like a blue mage helps.
You have Yellow Wolf on top of the mountain defeating all the white rappers, and then suddenly from the sky a flying drop kick from Mike Shinoda. a surprise contender, and then fucking like Jerry was it Jerry Lawler, the wrestler guy? Oh my gosh! This is WrestleMania. This is White Rapper Mania. Oh my gosh!
White Rapper Mania sounds really awful, and I don't want to be a part of it for too long. Because like Fred Durst is gonna cut like jump in and like break stuff. Like no, let's not devolve today. Let's not let you in the party.
Okay, so now for the white rappers that are only ethnically white, but stylistically they are accepted. You got Mac Miller, Action Bronson. Who else?
We said a bunch of them before. Max the Demon. We said
Max the Demon. I think Max the Demon's winning this, honestly, because he's got the youth on his side.
Dangerous.
He has been to jail. I know we say Rikers isn't all that crazy, but I think, a white man who's going to Rikers, he's got to survive.
Oh, he's got to survive. Yeah, he's definitely got to survive. This isn't a pretty day. Who else did we talk about?
You know what? You know what? Maybe in the original fight,
Paul Wall.
Paul Wall. Paul Wall's kind of old though. I feel like here's my thing. I went for a little jog today, and my knee was kind of like it's been kneeing for a little bit, so I know the effects of age. So I don't think Paul Wall is going to stand much of a chance. I think Action Bronson, he's got too much loose skin. It's going to slow him down. I think Max the Demon's he's a primetime fighter.
You know what? I see you behind his corner, and I see you fanning him down. Like, you got this, baby. You got this.
And then when it's all said and done, Max the Demon and Mike Shinoda team up for a track. If Jay-Z can do it, Max the Demon can too.
Hold on, this is actually sounding like a good song. Can you imagine that?
I feel like I should make like a Linkin Park drill remix.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there it is. If I had any kind of talent, I would just literally just only make beats to go viral and be funny.
I'm fucking those mashups right now. Yeah.
Put that on a post-it, a little Linkin Park drill. You would definitely go viral immediately.
Do that shit right now as soon as we're done with this.
Talking about things that went viral, Drake's haircut, because I got to bring it back because I'm looking at his picture right now, and he really does look like the bodega owner that he always wanted to be. Honestly,
am I not plugging if the first one didn't look like him?
Okay, can I say this? Drake's transformation into a 45-year-old Dominican man is finally like full circle, so I'm proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He decided to be puppy, and he went with it, bro. God bless him. Drizzy really do it.
Yeah, that's the freedom of money when you can just get a perm and just say, for funsies, like he's like you just do that like for a video. I'm sure it's for a video. I'm sure it's for a video or something, but like just to like get a perm just for the fuck of it, like. And then I'm sure he's got like all the kinds of like $1 million products that'll get his hair right back to as nappy as it ever was immediately after that. Silky as shit, just like his son's hair.
I was talking shit about that dispensary bud, but I'm fucking.
I think ending the note on Drizzy's hair is always a good time because I think Sasha wants to end his night on Drizzy's hair. That would be like would you get sucked off by Drizzy?
That's how I got my name.
Sucked up by Drake, of course, on camera.
I got my name.
Wait, what song are you playing from his hit catalog while you get sucked off? That's the real question.
Hold on. Oh, actually, you know what? I had a thought a while ago, and you just reminded me, right? So I watch a shitload of Twitter porn, right? And when you watch these amateur Twitter porns, there's always music in the background. And the most common artists are The Weeknd, Party Next Door, and Drake. Shout out to Toronto for taking over the sex tape scene. Now, from previous tracks, we know that Drake is a huge fan of porno. If I can quote him from his track Final Fantasy, what's the line? I like when you give it like Evil Angel, like vivid. I like it when you give it like Evil Angel, like vivid, nasty, like how they get it. So we clearly know he knows his porn production companies, right? We know Drake loves pornography. So
and a very specific type.
Do you think Drake has had moments where he opened up some Twitter porn and heard his own songs? And if so, how many times do you think this has happened to him?
I think this happens to him about 40 times a day.
Yeah, he
If
does.
he were to go into
Somebody's
his Twitter
shaking
and go
ass.
on there, he would go on there and like those are all in the filtered requests out. He doesn't go in that folder.
Isn't that part of his catalog? Like ass shaking music, like
Yes,
pussy twerking
definitely.
music. Like honestly, bro, like if that doesn't make it, I think any
Permanently
woman,
there in his mental.
even if you don't enjoy men, maybe like in their presence or their ambiance, everyone I think across the board just enjoys Drizzy's sultry voice and the way he can speak. I think it does something to people, and especially women. I've seen lots of women feel very, very strongly about Drizzy. So God bless him. Honestly, bless
Sasha,
the man.
Oh yeah. Now
link
here's
me
my
to
thing.
any-
What do
me
you
to
think
any
Drake
Twitter
does?
Link
Go ahead,
me,
Joey.
link me to any Twitter porn that you come across that has Drake sticky in the background.
I haven't watched porn in a while, but I will do just that.
I do that. We all.
But now
do
here's
that.
my thing. Here's my thing that I want to know. Right? Let's say you're Drake. Right? You're going through some Twitter porn, and you hear "Party Next Door" in the background. This is your friend. Do you keep jerking off or do you stop?
I would stop.
So if one of your boys, so if you hear The Weeknd, could you imagine that though? Like you're about to jerk off and then you hear The Weeknd and you just have memories of him being homeless in Toronto and y'all locked in the dungeon like recording in 2012 and shit.
That would
imagine Drake butt ass naked on his like $2 million mattress, just dropping his dick like, God damn it! What's The Weeknd's real name?
Abel.
God damn it, Abel! I'm just trying to catch this nut.
Wait,
and you got to come on.
So as a musician, I think that these people are probably just numb to the sounds of the songs. The amount of times I've had to hear songs before they even become actual songs is insane. I can't even imagine what it's like at that level. So they probably don't like. He probably just fuck it. He probably goes harder. You know.
There we go.
Like,
I knew you were gonna sink it, and I was waiting.
It's The Weeknd.
You were gonna sink it.
The Weeknd. That's what it's for.
You tear in his eye, like you made it, Abel. You made it.
You did this together, my brother.
Dude, that's the definition of I'm trying to be like you, King. That's what that is. Thank you very much, Joseph Hurtado, Thrillah from the Three, because you ended this podcast in the best way, with the best joke. I love you. Thank you. You
that was
hair twisted
wonderful.
Man.
And to Drizzy, I hope you're out there beating off to a song you love. You know.
It's definitely a song.
I want my baby to have your eyes.
You didn't answer the question. You got to send the people off with the question. With the question answered. What song are you playing while Drizzy sucks you off? And then we're off the air.
Oh God, that's a big catalog. Let me open Spotify real quick.
A true Drizzy stan who just had to say, "I gotta break out the catalog." You can't just pick one in your head. Bro, like, dude, what if Hotline
like
Bling?
10 albums.
Please, like, come on, pick a pop one.
All right, first I gotta pick an out. First, I gotta pick an album. All right,
an album. You expecting this to be an hour-long song? You expected this to be an hour-long song?
Go to nothing was the same. You dice pineapple.
You're crazy, bro.
Dice pineapple. That's a song to get.
I need the right album.
Wait, no, hold on. I think
I need the right era of Drizzy because I think this could go for 2 hours.
Shit.
No, wait, hold on. There's so many options, dude.
Drizzy's giving you a long passionate suck.
This is the Patreon content.
Just how you like it.
Dude, there's so much to choose from to get sucked off to. I can't pick just one. You know what?
Oh God, I know you won't because you'll come up with a playlist, probably a never-ending one, so you can never end the moment twice.
hold on. Wait, no. Okay,
You get
I
this
got one. I
long
got one.
Drizzy. Long
Man,
Drizzy
there's an
passionate
indie and
suck.
drill mix. Man,
I'm gonna get sucked off. Drake is gonna suck me off. I'm gonna say. All right, it's definitely gonna be off. If you're reading this, it's too late for sure. Because I have a lot of memory. I remember 2015. This album came out. I was working in a frozen food warehouse, crap ass job, freezing my ass off, just having one headphone in, playing this on repeat. So knowing that Drake is sucking me off, and I used to like bump this like while I was working in a warehouse, it would really tell me I made it. I think I'm gonna go with
Amazon workers, if you're listening, this is your chance.
I think I'm gonna go with off that album. I'm gonna go with Madonna. I'm gonna go with Madonna. Drake sucking me off to Madonna off his album.
Wow.
If you're reading this, it's too late.
Wow, this is a lot to unpack, and I hope everyone has a great week. It is, remember, the National Meat Treasure. I can't stop because I'm thinking about Drizzy giving you the long passionate suck. You guys having a great time. It's the National Meat Treasure. Drops an episode every Thursday. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. I am an autopilot because I am dying at this point. Remember that we really love you guys. Thank you. We keep passing every expectation. We're getting to a point where we feel like everything we've been working for a year plus is paying off. So thank you for all the cool shit that you've been commenting and checking in and buying shit and doing all the kind of stuff that we never thought anybody would do, because we're three assholes. Like, who cares about what we think? But it's fun. It's been fun, and it'll continue to be fun. We're almost at 100 episode, boys. It's been a wild ride. Take it off, Sasha. Take it in.
Yeah, and on that note,
take it off.
Take it off. Take it in.
What if I picked you up from your house? We should get out. We haven't talked in a while. We should roll just to see where it go. I saw potential in you from the go. You know that I did. I don't know if you know who you are. You could be big as Madonna. Just get in the car. Imagine Drake sucking me, telling me I could be as big as Madonna. I'm horny.
You're bricked up already. You're bricked up because the industry giant has called you Madonna. Someone who's wait. Does Madonna have more pop hits than Drizzy at this point? I feel like that might be possible. Because
Drake has more than everybody.
You think so at this point, right?
Probably.
Definitely.
But this has been.
That's who you got to look. That's who you got to look forward to. You giving you a long, passionate suck is multi-Grammy winner. Like pop sensation, rap sensation, culture mover, owner of sports teams, and now a great perm. So long passionate suck from Papi from the bodega.
Yeah, but don't come through with that perm, Drake. Suck me off with the 4 braids, baby. Let me run my fingers through them cornrows. You can follow us at National Meat Treasure on TikTok and Instagram, at MNT Pod on Facebook. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at thin.cruel.lips. And Drake, if you're reading this, it's never too late to suck me off. All right.
And follow me on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter at Saint Thrilla. And follow Thrillah Bam on all streaming platforms. Just hit over 200K on Set Trippin'.
Hey, that is a banger. But to everyone out there and to the homies and the homettes, good night.
Crazy, never lost it. Now I pick her up in the Mercedes and I'm frosted. 23-0, we took the lead. Watch me talk shit. Everybody see me on my top dog shit. They were saying I was going crazy, never lost it. Now